You have downloaded the podcast of The Leak with Tom Price. Thank you so much. If you enjoy the show, please go to bbc.co.uk/Radio Wales for more information.
Recording live in front of a studio audience, it's The Leak with Tom Price.
Look at you, lovely people. Hello. Welcome to The Leak. My name is Tom Price. On the show tonight, we have the brilliant comedian and member of the award-winning sketch group Gaines Family Gift Shop, the fabulous Kiri Pritchard-McLean will be here. Oh, yes. And from Bluestone 4-2 and something called Harry Potter. I'll get the pronunciation right later. We have Matthew Lewis on the show tonight as well. First, though, let's see what's been happening on this slab of earth that we call Wales over the last 7 days. First of all, the big news this week, of course, you guys are going to know about this. Tesco lost... Does anyone here know the number off the top of their heads? 4 billion from one man there. This has become a very strange auction early on. 6.4 billion pounds. Can you believe that is a lot of money to lose, man? How big is their sofa? Do you know what I mean? Tesco have fallen into a financial black hole where they bumped into the milk farmers who they threw in there. I'm sure they'll have a lovely chat together. Luckily, though, they have got 6.5 billion trolleys, which they're hoping still have £1 coins inside them. Hope for the best there. A dog caused chaos on the M74 in Scotland after driving a tractor onto the motorway. In what is easily the most Welsh story to not happen in Wales of all time. The police pulled the vehicle over when they saw his tail light was out. You're all welcome. These are free of charge. He managed to travel 1 mile. Of course, that was 7 for him. He had very poor control of the vehicle. So, you deserve better. You deserve better. After a strong lead, the police had to collar the suspects. I would say that he finished with a lovely parallel bark. So that was nice. Other news, the drummer from AC/DC, Phil Rudd, is facing prison after pleading guilty to an allegation that he threatened to have his assistant killed following poor reviews of his solo album. Now, I was actually asked to review the album as well. Genuinely. I've got a little bit of it just here. Here we go. I think that's excellent. In politics news this week, Ed Miliband was mobbed by a hen do on the campaign trail. It's extraordinary. He hasn't been surrounded by that many hens since filming Chicken Run. David Cameron was meanwhile determined not to be outdone, and he found a stag and shot it. Private land. An English language school called ISIS has been forced to change its name. Yeah, it's been renamed after the school's founder, Mr. Alan Qaeda, so that's nice. Also, a new stage musical of the film Groundhog Day has been announced. A new stage musical of the film Groundhog Day has been announced. A new stage musical, the film Groundhog Day, that's been announced. So. And finally, Barry Island have announced a new budget-conscious log flume. Hooray! Yep, it'll only work when Sean from next door flushes. So, you very much have to keep your mouth shut. Right, let's go on with tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go! Beautiful! You are a very beautiful and tolerant of poo jokes audience. Now, those dulcet guitar sounds come from this week's musical guest, the fabulous Naomi Gidney. Naomi, I know obviously you're a massive fan of the show. It must be quite a treat for you to be here. Every week we bring in some A-grade musical talent who've been busking on the streets of Cardiff. How long have you been a busker for, Naomi?
Oh, years and years. For about, 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you enjoy it? Is it good?
Yeah, it's good fun. you get a couple of weirdos, but you know that.
Good evening. Nice to see you again.
That is meant to happen because I've got mistaken quite a lot of the time for a tramp, so that's very
Really?
nice. Yeah.
Well, you should stop selling copies of The Big Issue. That's my advice to you.
Maybe.
Good, excellent. Thanks, Naomi. Now, just before we get our guests out, I'd just like to pick up on that Ed Miliband story. This week he ended up with a hen do on his battle bus. But how would this have worked if that happened in Wales? What would the people of Wales say if a political leader crashed their party? Does anyone want me to find out? Have a listen to this. If Ed Miliband turned up at your foam party, what would you say?
Tell him
If Nigel Farage turned up at your graduation, what would you say to him?
I'd definitely tell him
If Leanne Wood appeared at your rave, sir, what would you say?
Tell her to
If Nicola Sturgeon turned up at your birthday party, what would you say to her?
I'll probably tell her.
What would you say if David Cameron turned up at your lemon party?
I'd probably tell him. To be honest, I'd probably tell all of them because they probably wouldn't be that fun.
If Nick Clegg turned up at your roller disco, what would you say to him?
Nick, mate.
There we are, the people of Wales and politicians. Friends for life, ladies and gentlemen, friends for life. Right, let's meet tonight's guests. Firstly, a brilliant comedian who we love here on The Leak, making her second appearance on the show. Would you please welcome the fabulous Kiri Pritchard-McLean?
Kiri Pritchard! Woo!
And joining Kiri tonight on the leaky sofa, a man who probably has more articles on BuzzFeed about him than anyone else in the whole world. Would you please give a massive welcome to the fabulous Matthew Lewis, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Matt, Kiri, great to see you here. Before we get stuck into the news, we're going to find out a bit more about you guys, right? What makes you tick. We're going to have a quick game of Shaps. That's right, we're going to play Shaps Phrase. And this is, of course, based on the allegations which have surfaced that the chairman of the Tory party, Grant Shapps, has been editing his own entry and other people's entries on Wikipedia. He has denied it until he realised he'd been doing it all in the first person. Oops. So to play Shaps, all you guys have to do is edit your own entry. So Kiri Pritchard-McLean, I'm going to read you a bit of Wikipedia and you just crack on, all right?
Okay.
So edit your own entry. Here we go. Kiri Pritchard-McLean is very famous in parts of Wales because...
she can hold, unaided, a pint glass between her breasts. True story.
I have a pint glass in my hands, but a judgy look from the audience. As a child, Matt Lewis dreamed of being...
I dreamed of being a soldier, actually. It's kind of boring, isn't it?
No, but because that's what you've ended up doing on Bluestone 4 too.
Yeah, that was very fortunate.
Why did you want to be a soldier? Were you angry?
Yeah, my parents didn't love me enough. No, at all. I don't know. I was in the Air Cadets for a couple of years, and I really, really enjoyed it. And maybe I lacked discipline at home, so I had to go find it somewhere else. I don't know.
This is turning into therapy very quickly.
Yeah.
Kiri has a pathological fear of...
I think I'm scared of...
Come on, I can tell you're embarrassed about this, which is brilliant. Go on.
Gerbils.
I thought you were going to say Germans.
I totally thought you were going to say Germans.
Sorry, it might have come over wrong. It was Germans.
German gerbils. Are you genuinely scared of gerbils?
Yeah, they're horrible.
Really?
Yeah, I would... If I saw one, I'd stamp on it. I'm sorry, I would.
That's horrific.
I know, well, that's why I keep myself away from them before I go on a spree.
Matt was once in a relationship with...
Was I?
Matt has been by himself for...
I am very fond of myself. I am...
Really?
Yeah.
Those long days in your trailer.
This therapy session just goes on and on, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's good. You've got to like your own company. It's absolutely vital. Because you do, as an actor, you spend a lot of time waiting.
Yeah, just sitting around.
Just you and your wand.
That's it.
Let's talk about the news. This week, Tesco, as I mentioned just now, they just announced they've suffered losses of £6.4 billion. Can you believe... Kiri, this is an enormous figure. Can we even comprehend this figure?
It's too big. It's certainly a bigger amount than I can even imagine. But I'm glad because I don't like Tesco. As a
Other
farmer's
supermarkets
daughter,
are available.
Yes, as a farmer's daughter, I'm not a huge fan of them.
Yeah.
And also, where I'm from, there was a big Tesco in Bangor, and it's the only place that I failed a job interview. And I was so sure that I was going to get it as well. So sure that when they asked me what weaknesses I had, I panicked and said my ankles. And I didn't get it.
They're sore from all the gerbil stamping. Yeah. It's a nightmare. What do you think, Matt? Are you going to go to Tesco's and maybe say, keep the change at the end? I don't know.
Their Tesco Express stay open late on a Sunday. That's good, isn't it?
Classic, yeah.
Because the rest of them shut. Easter Sunday, Waitrose was completely shut all day.
It's a nightmare. How do we survive?
It's ridiculous. But Tesco Express stayed open till 11. I'll never forget that.
I owe them that. So if you've got 6.4 billion spare, you could really dig them out of a hole. In other colossal money news, a man helped to trigger a mini stock market thing called a flash crash. Did you hear about this from his semi-detached house? Do you know about this, Matt?
Yeah.
Have you heard about the flash crash? Sounds like if I go streaking when I've had too much sugar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't understand the stock market.
No.
I read in a magazine in my dentist about a year ago that we should all invest in bamboo.
For our teeth.
Apparently, with global warming, we're all going to have to start building houses out of bamboo. I actually set up an investment account with my bank. Just never used it.
What, off the back of a magazine?
I was going to invest in some bamboo, but I never got there.
It's a good job you weren't reading, I don't know, the Daily Express, or you'd have bought a massive Diana memorial. It's terrifying what could have happened. You were so vulnerable before you went to the dentist.
All that time just on my own in the trailer. That's it.
Too much time by yourself. It's basically there was this 5-minute period in 2010 where the Dow Jones shed 600 points. Don't know what that means. And it was something he did single-handedly.
I think he invested a load of money into bamboo, and then I think it's all paid off.
He wrote the article to get me to do it.
He then went back to his career in dentistry. Let's move on. Did you see this story about the TV station in Cardiff that got done by Ofcom this week?
How is this is it for a bum?
Is it made in Cardiff?
The TV station's called Made in Cardiff. They've got to have a meeting with Ofcom after it broadcast swearing and images of naked buttocks before 9 p.m. I've actually got, this is amazing, this is an actual quote from the Ofcom report.
This is brilliant.
This is fantastic. Although a bedpost in the foreground of the shot blocked the camera's view to some degree, some detail of the man's anus was visible.
How big's his anus?
So no, I wouldn't have
If
to
you
say.
can't hide it behind a bedpost, see a doctor. That's what I'm saying.
He also, they bleeped out bad language 78 times as well. So.
But there was only one complaint, and it was probably a doctor going, I need to see that man. He's not well.
The Leak with Tom Price.
Okay, now, you might remember from earlier on the story about Phil Rudd. It's just a little bit there. That's the title track there. It's a wonderful song. This is, of course, the AC/DC drummer who admitted plotting to have his assistant killed after poor album sales. He genuinely asked a hitman to take him out. Now, I am no Jeremy Kyle, but that doesn't seem like the best way to resolve a conflict. And the thing is, Matt, seeing as your friend Emma Watson does this sort of thing for the UN nowadays, while you're here on The Leak, you're welcome, we thought we'd get you doing some good work for the US. Sorry, for us. We are going to get Matt and Kiri to help sort out audience members' conflicts directly with the person who's upset them, right? Cutting out the whole assassin middleman scenario, okay? Feel the love, guys. Can you feel the love?
I can take them out as well if you need me to. That can be arranged.
Or he can kill people. Now, we have asked our audience members to share their arguments with us. I've got a pile of papers here. Let me just have a quick look. We have a squirrel nesting in our loft. It sits on the roof and then it goes in and out with nesting materials and food. Any advice? It's not garden question time, eh? Okay, here's a good one. Rows about doing the dishes. Always wanted a dishwasher. Now we argue about who empties the dishwasher. Classic. So who is the person? Are you still... Yes, this lady right here. Madam, what's your name? Vicky, thanks for joining us, Vicky. It's all going to go a bit Jeremy Kyle now. So, Vicky, who have you come with tonight, Vicky?
My husband.
Hello, husband. Now, is it the two of you who are arguing about this?
And my son, who's still at home.
And your son, is he at home now?
Back from uni.
He's back from uni, is he? Right, okay. Do you know, who is your son a particularly bad at doing this? Does he do this a lot? Does he?
Yes.
He does. So what we could do is we could get Matt to call up your son and leave a voicemail. Do you think, or maybe even speak to him and try and get him to empty the dishwasher? Would you like Matt to do that for you? It's a service that the league offers.
Yeah.
I mean, have you got a phone on you? Do you want to? Right, okay. She's getting the phone out of her bra.
Out of bra,
so that's good.
brilliant. We're in Cardiff.
Phone whipped out of the bra right there. Just nipple dial him. There we go.
Tell him who's got a paper plate.
So Matt, Kiri, feel free to chip in.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Bill.
Bill.
This is the Vodafone voicemail.
Oh dear, Bill, you're in big trouble. Matt, are you happy to take this one?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Over to you, Matt.
Hello, Bill. My name's Matthew. I'm here with your mum and dad. And I've got to have a word with you. I mean, you're on voicemail. Presumably you're having tea or something, and you're going to finish that off and then put the rest of it in the bin. And then, where are you going to put your plates, Bill?
Yeah, Bill.
Going to put them in the dishwasher, aren't you, Bill?
Bill.
The dishwasher's going to wash them up. And then who's going to take them out of the dishwasher, Bill? I don't think you are you? No, mum and dad are going to be taking care of that again. All right? They've already saved you one hardship by not making you do the dishes. Least you can do is take them out and put them in the cupboard. Do you know how much that annoys even me, never mind your parents? Sort it out, Bill. Grow up.
Kiri, anything to say to Bill?
You sound like a mate.
Okay, we've got another one here. I wanted to come to this tonight, but had previous commitments with a friend for a gig. She wants me to leave early. What shall I do? Leave at 8 or say I was trapped? Is the person who wrote that here? They've literally just gone! Oh, that is a wound. the person who pointed it out, what's your name? Elsa. Right, okay, Elsa. Would you mind coming up onto the stage? Is that okay? A round of applause for Elsa, ladies and gentlemen. Great. Okay. So, Elsa, if you could sit on the sofa in between.
Come for a
Kira.
cutch.
So, this human said, I wanted to come to this tonight, but I had previous commitments, as we now know, with a friend for a gig. She wants me to leave early. What shall I do? Well, we know what you'll do. You'll leave early. So, if you can record a video with Matt, maybe. Kiri, are you happy?
What's her name?
Are you happy to record this?
Esme is the girl you love.
Okay. Great. So, Kiri, you video, and then Matt, just look right down the barrel,
Right.
and
What's
she
her
can.
name? Esme.
Esme.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We're rolling now.
Great. Over to you, Matt. Really give it.
Hi, Esme.
Yeah.
We're just kicking back on the sofa having the best time
The best time.
that I think I've ever had. Not just in Cardiff, either. The best time I've ever had in the world since sliced bread. That way. Tell us how much fun we're having.
Great time.
Great
Absolutely
time.
fabulous.
A bit more enthusiasm than
Is
She
that.
sounds like she's been kidnapped.
Is it?
You could have been here, Esme. This could have been you. But you had to go off to your gig, didn't you?
You make me sick.
Great ending, guys. Thank you so much. A round of applause. A round of applause for Elsa, ladies and gentlemen. Elsa, thank you. So, let's move on. This part of the show is where we celebrate the smaller stories of the week from around Wales. The things that don't get the coverage they really sometimes should on national radio. Now, for this bit, I'm going to need the help of our studio audience, right? I'm going to ask them to shout out the name of a town or a village in Wales, and I'll hop on my Googles here, search for the town, and find the biggest story of the week from that place. And then Matt and Kiri will discuss whatever that story is, right? Has anyone here got a place that they'd like me to live journalise right now? Just feel free to shout anything out. Newport is nice. I like Newport. Okay. This is a good one. All right, so Newport, this is from the South Wales Argus. M4 busy. Kiri. It's unbelievable.
Bad news. I don't know how to solve it, really.
No, of course you don't. You don't work in infrastructure. You're a comedian.
No, I don't.
Matt, did you drive here?
I didn't. I got the train.
Got a train.
No.
So M4's just a
Well, I'd
local
read
thing.
it in the paper, so I decided to get the train.
Yeah, of course. Spot on.
Avoid the congestion.
Exactly, quite right. Well, there we are. There's news just in. M4 busy. Anything else? Somewhere else it was, maybe north or west. Real. Real's what I heard first.
Real.
All right, here we go. This is from the Real Journal. Mermaid school opens in Prestatyn. Finally! Those guys have got to learn to spell and probably walk. It's not easy. Here we go. A World Masters swimming champion called Leslie Wilde has set up a mermaid school which allows little dreamers the chance to wear colourful tails and channel the animated princess. The school held its first class on Friday. Presumably a school day. That's irresponsible
That sounds
parenting.
incredibly dangerous if you're sending loads of little girls into a pool with a fin on. It's just look like the saddest thing when they're all floating face down on the surface. That's going to be awful.
Who is the lifeguard at that event? That's going to be horrific.
Some guy's a crab, like, I can't save them all.
Matt, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, are they just tying their legs together and throwing them in?
Maybe. I don't really know.
I mean, I know they've got an unemployment problem, but that is a job that does not need to be done. It just doesn't.
Let's come to our guests now. So, Kiri, where are you from, please?
I'm from Anglesey.
Anglesey, beautiful.
Thanks, guys.
Big shout-outs to Anglesey. Here's the news. This is from Wales Online. Wow. I don't know how to break this. This is massive.
Okay.
Just 2 seats sold for the Anglesey to Norwich flight.
I really thought that little business venture of mine was, excuse the pun, going to take off. Obviously, there's not the demand for Anglesey to Norwich travel.
Yeah, you've lost a lot of money on this.
Yeah, I have.
You shouldn't have invested in that bamboo plane. That was a mistake. Right, let's have a look at you now, Matt. Where do you live? Where are you from?
Well, Horsforth in Leeds. Yeah.
Okay. To be fair,
There's someone else from Horsforth in here.
Mum! Is this a coincidence, or have you just been following
Do I know you? Are we...
what's your name?
Liv.
Sorry?
Olivia.
Oh, right. I was going to say Liv is what we call you in Wales. Right, Liv? Olivia, what brings you to Cardiff?
I'm a student.
OK, great. Do you know Matt?
We have actually met once before.
Have we?
Yes, we have.
Is she going to bring forward a kid and be like, and you need to meet him?
I've called it Neville. So, don't tell him where. Matt, where did you meet this human?
In Horsforth.
No, it's not. It's not. No.
Where was it?
It was at View Cinema in York, watching Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban 2003.
Don't watch your own films.
Hang on. What was I doing there? Because I wasn't going to see the film.
No, you were. You were watching it with your mates. And,
You loser. What, just hanging out, a bit of spare time? I'll go and watch myself on the big screen.
What?
I was about 9 years old. I was with my family. My mum forced me to get an autograph off you.
Or if he doesn't remember it,
No.
you've just had some weird guy pretending to be some guy from Harry Potter
That is true.
in York, and you've got his signature now.
Are you sure
I
it
take
was
that
him?
straight to the police.
That is a concern.
Matt is genuinely ruffled at the moment.
That's bizarre. I've got a sister who lives in York. I'm going to ask her if she's ever heard of anyone knocking about saying me.
Have you really never been to the cinema in York to watch your film?
Why?
No, I did ask, why would you go and see it? Good, well, I feel like we've been on a journey in that round. Mainly reuniting you with your long-lost friend there, Olivia. Thank you very much, round of applause for that brilliant interaction there from Matt with a random human being who claims to have met him. Amazing. That is going to end in court. Now, to end the show tonight, I would like to draw your attention to this story. A beautiful, healthy, 5-legged lamb has been born, I know, in Hwrlas farm in mid-Wales. Isn't that beautiful? Apparently, little Jake, as he's been named, is doing very well and has total control of his extra leg. But this is obviously a publicity stunt to reverse the plight of this poor Welsh sheep farmer. He's obviously been given a glue gun for his birthday, and he's gone a bit nuts. So this 5-legged lamb is just the showpiece we've decided for his farm shop. So we thought we'd do our bit to give him some leaky help, a little bit of publicity on behalf of the leak. We've got professional actors here, Matt and Kiri, and we've got the scripts for you here, guys, so you take one each. We'll take one, pass it on. We've got access to sound effects. So we took a look at some of this farmer's other new products, and we're going to make him an advert now that he can use whenever he wants to sell his strange animal products. So, Matt, Kiri, are you good to go? Are you happy to help us out on this? Yeah?
Right, okay.
Over to you guys. Here we go.
This Sunday lunchtime, why not treat yourselves to a little bit extra from our family-run farm in mid-Wales?
This is not just a succulent leg of lamb. This is a weird, 5-legged lamb that in the Middle Ages they'd have burnt.
This little lamb is 125% Welsh lamb. It'll feed a big family.
Because of its unnaturally high number of gristly limbs.
Limbs that nature made by accident.
We've got Welsh black beef with ears growing on their spines.
Hear those ribs crackling, just like the cows can.
We've got meals for couples, because 2 heads are better than 1. Which is how we make dog pigs.
The perfect way to unwind. And on the side, some pigs in blankets have been made from scratch. Our pet Labrador.
And finally, for dessert, our farmer John has a delicious spotted dick.
It's probably best that you don't ask too much. This may contain nuts.
Now available at all good supermarkets.
£6.5 billion in debt. Every limb will help.
Thank you very much to my busker, Naomi Gidney, my fabulous guest, Kiri Pritchard-McLean, and the wonderful Matt Lewis. The Leak will be back next week for the Macrotas Comedy Festival. Good night!
The Leak was a Rubber Chicken production for BBC Radio Wales.
Thank you very much for downloading The Leak. And thank you again to my guests, Kiri Pritchard-McLean and Matt Lewis. For more information, please go over to bbc.co.uk/Radio Wales.